So today is the full moon in November, and we are going to do a Florida water tutorial. So Florida water is used in so many different ways. You can use it for cleansing, you can use it for blessing, anointing, removing vibrations that are unwanted, and it's also great for purification and during rituals. So I even know some people who use it to cleanse their tarot cards and other divination tools, which I also do occasionally. Full moon, I figure this would be a perfect opportunity to kind of bring you guys along and show how to make the Florida water yourself. Not too long ago when I was looking into buying more Florida water, I actually realized that it's getting harder and harder to find in stores. I've gone to multiple different places that I know used to sell it, and they said that they are actually not selling it anymore because very few people were buying it. So this kind of led me to making my own, and I realized that the ingredients in the Florida water in the store are actually very artificial. They have a lot of coloring in them. They have just artificial fragrances, and come on, which is, you know, we're all about that actual nature stuff. So figured I'd throw on some good herbs and some essential oils with my intentions, and let me breathe to you a little bit about those. And I apologize in advance if you hear any funky sounds or a little bit of camera rattling, because my little feline familiars are roaming about at the moment. So the herbs that I will be using today are sage for cleansing and purifying. It's a very strong cleansing herb and very good at just clearing out all energies. Palo Santo cleanses and purifies, but instead of just getting rid of all energies, it also attracts positivity and positive energies into your space and into your magical workings. Rosemary for purification. It also rejuvenates and is very cleansing. Roses. I'm using red roses today that symbolize love and stability and passion. So all things that I want in my Florida water. TARANISE for protection, divine healing. It's great for psychic awareness, growth, and also warding off evil. I'll also be using mugwort, which is great for spiritual growth, protection, healing, dream work, and connection. Lemons, limes, and oranges, all great for cleansing, protection. The bright orange and yellow colors are connected to happiness, love. They're also great for blockages and removal of unwanted energies. Allspice for luck and healing. Also adds energy into your working. Basil for protection and exorcism of anything unwanted in our life that we are going to be using the Florida water on. Bay is great for blessing and clearing, and it's a great strengthener. Calendula, which is great for protection and boosting psychic and spiritual ability. Chrysanthemum, also known as mums, which are very popular at this time of year with Samhain and Halloween just passing. You can usually find them everywhere because everybody loves to put them on their doorsteps. So those are great for protection, peace. Cinnamon, which is great for success, healing, protection, power, strength, spirituality, you name it. I use cinnamon in almost all of my spells and rituals. I also like using the actual whole cinnamon sticks. And in this, we're going to be, the more whole the herb, the better, because if you use powdered herbs, or like sometimes like powdered clove or powdered cinnamon, it can also kind of muddy the Florida water. Even after you strain it, you'll still have that muddying of the spices. So next we have clove, which is of course great for protection and banishing. I will eventually be adding some citronella oil, which is good for repelling negativity and then drawing in positivity when it pertains to relationships. It can draw in friends and good relationships. When it pertains to business, it could be bringing in success and customers and prosperity into your business. Jasmine for charging and also divination, because I will be using this a lot in my divination work. Juniper for banishing all bad and unhealthy things in your life. Orange blossom for harmony, peace, and stability. Orchids for concentration, memory, focus, and willpower. And orchids also have a very strong connection to my grandmother, which I've been doing a lot of ancestral work, so I really enjoy having those beautiful energies around me. And I will also be using salt, which is cleansing and purifying and grounding. We use salt all the time. in our spells and rituals, casting circles, all different kinds of things. There's so many different uses for salt. Definitely a must-have in your apothecary. And then I'll also be using vanilla for restoring energy and passion into work and rejuvenating anything that I'll be wiping down. So the majority of what I'll be using this for is to wipe down doorways and windows, even my altar at times, and of course divination. All my divination tools will be wiped down with my Florida water. It's kind of a refresher and to bless those things, especially if some other people have been coming in and out or have had their hands on my tools. It's good to cleanse those things of any energies that are not yours and that might not work towards what you're working for. I'm sorry, my cat is just constantly on me right now. Okay, so at this point I am going to cleanse our space. I've already charged and set intentions for all of my herbs and things that will be going into the Florida water with my own intentions and with the properties that go along with them. So I will be skipping that part, but go ahead and definitely put your magic and your energy into those things. So I am using sage on all of these things. I like to also cleanse my altar because with being coming up on the holiday season, I've had a lot of people be coming in and out of here, a lot of trick-or-treaters, and I'm sure though most of their intentions are good, you know, there's been a lot of energies around my house. So cleanse, cleansing here and there, cleansing everything, purifying everything, starting fresh. And then I also like to cleanse with some PALO SANTO to bring in any positivity and good things my way. PALO SANTO is just the most beautiful smell. Alrighty. I'm gonna leave that to kind of sizzle out to my abalone shell. Enjoy the smell. And at this point I will also be lighting my charcoal disc and using some of my frankincense resin that I received from my Witch's Roots box today. I'll put a link for that unboxing video right now. I actually didn't ever use frankincense that often, but I've used it a couple of times today and I really enjoy the vibrations, and the smell is a lot more pleasant than I thought it would be. It's actually quite a bit different than the smell of the hard resin when it starts to burn. It's actually very nice. So we'll wait for our little charcoal disc to go. And at this point would be a great time for you to cast your circle, invite in any of the energies, the deities, the ancestors, anything and anyone that you'll be working with and that will be guiding you today. Alrighty, so here is our jar. I am using a very big jar because I am a go big, go home kind of girl. Alrighty, so our incense is ready to go on. It's nice and hot. I'm using my amazing new copper cauldron. I just love it. May this frankincense be an offering to all my gods and goddesses, ancestors, spirits, and all else who are joining me today and are here for my greater good. Alrighty, so we are going to start by the biggest objects first. I went ahead and cut my oranges up into slices. I'm just going to break them apart. I'm going to be adding these guys first because I would love to see all my little floaties floating around on the top, so I'm going to go with heaviest first. Oranges really are the Florida water. If you've ever been to Florida, I used to live in Florida for a couple of, actually only a few months with my husband and my babies, and we are actually going to be moving back there, but they are known for their orchards, and they're everywhere. Really the base. This is the base of our Florida water. Go ahead and put it in the base. Fill her up with oranges, and I like to work in threes, so I usually do things in either 3 or 9. So if you see me put in 3 of everything, that is why. I'm a little bit obsessive about that, actually. I also picked up some beautiful blood orange. This actually reminds me a lot of my pops, who has passed away, and he used to have a blood orange tree in his front yard, and he would pick them and sprinkle a little sugar on them and give them to me when I was little, and I just loved it. So I thought I would add a little piece of him in there too. And then I've been working with my ancestors and their energies. Look at that pretty color. We'll see if it actually lends to any color in our final concoction. So some very sad looking lemons, but lemons nonetheless. I'll also be adding some citrus essential oils in at the very end to top them all off. Some limes, also very sad looking, but hey, you got what you got. Already looking so pretty with all of our layered fruits. Look at that, beautiful. Just a jar full of happiness right here. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw in some of my basil. This is fresh basil from my garden. Picked it this morning, so it's a little bit wilty, but it'll do. Some rosemary. Got some fresh sprigs of rosemary. You can also use store-bought rosemary or other dried rosemary. It's really not a big deal, but I always try to work with the freshest ingredients possible. Also, if you're working with something from the store, make sure you cleanse them and, oops, sorry about that. Make sure you cleanse and set your intentions, because there are so many people that touch those bottles while they're going to and from the factory, and also being put on the shelves and all the customers, and you get it. So I got my bay leaves, I counted 9, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm missing one. There is my 9th one. There you go. I'll be putting my star anise, and I have a couple of extra little ingredients that I'm not going to be talking too much about because they're more personal to me, but if you have any herbs like that or things that you feel you're called to throw in there, go for it. This is yours to claim and to master and make what you wish it to be. So got my last little bits of star anise in there. Wow, that is starting to look so pretty. I love it. I love it, love it. Alrighty, I'm going to throw my cinnamon sticks in. Oh, got a little clove in there. I also try to use as much organic as I can. I'm going to break one of these to make it 6. Because yeah, look at these nice long cinnamon sticks. I actually got these from Costco, and they're selling them in a huge container for really cheap. And I mean, Costco is getting better and better with the organic things, so. Alrighty. Cloves, of course. I was going to use 9 cloves, but I thought it could use a little extra oomph. Cloves are another one of my favorite herbs to work with. Especially around this time of year, you can't go wrong with making your house smell like cloves and cinnamon. And our incense is going nice and strong now. Alrighty. So now I'm going to add in my mugwort. And you'll notice I like to just lay things out all over my altar, because I figure anything that's left over can go towards lending those properties to my altar. Put some allspice in there. I would love for you all to leave a comment down below. Tell me what you use your Florida water for, because I haven't been using it for too long, but I really, really enjoy having it in my cabinet. It's a shame that it's getting so hard to find, at least where I am. I'm in Texas, Houston area, so oh, I love these. Jasmine. I use a lot of jasmine around the full moon. Hopefully next year I'll get to grow my own, because it is just the best smelling flower, in my opinion. I love it, especially around the arch trellises, and it's just beautiful. Alrighty, and my orange blossom, another amazing smelling floral. Sprinkle it all in there. Alrighty, calendula. This is such a pretty herb. It really brightens up any spell, and also looks amazing in oils. It just makes me so happy to see these things floating around everywhere. Also used calendula a lot recently in some prosperity work that I've been doing. My orchids. I got 9 juniper berries here. Sorry for bumping the camera. My mums, which I harvested from my front porch and dried. Some roses I also harvested from my front porch. I'm just going to throw them all in there because I have plenty right now. Get all of this goodness in here. I also have some roses from quite a while ago. My husband brought me home some bouquets, which is quite unlike him. He's not super romantic, but I don't mind because I've always felt like I'd rather him bring me a live plant so I can keep it and it doesn't die. But for this, it's perfect because then I can use it later. Here we go, that's good enough. Alrighty, and I'm also going to add a full stick of Palo Santo in there because I just love what it brings into my home and such an attractor of positive energy and good vibes. And I figure it can sit in there and infuse for a little bit. Okay, I'm going to add a couple more things particular to me. And since I'm doing this on a full moon, it might be different for you, but I'm going to be letting this steep for a whole month until the next full moon cycle. So, and then at that time, I'll probably be doing another ritual to further bless it and set my intentions. Alrighty, and oh yes, I also forgot. I'm going to add a couple pieces of frankincense in there that I got from my Witch's Roots box today. Because since I'm going to be using this for a lot of ancestral work and I've been doing a lot of communication with my ancestors and their energies, I would love to offer this as a blessing to them in here, or an offering to them in here. So I'm going to add 3 pieces because, like I've said before, got to love 3 and hope that they, all who are working with me and for my greater good, accept that as a beautiful offering and help me work through this. Help me by working through this Florida water. And I'm also going to add a quartz crystal, which I have charged on the last full moon, to further magnify the beauty and the essences of all of these amazing herbs. So looking in there now, it is quite full. I'd say this thing is probably about a third full with kind of some space on the bottom. I'll show you after, but we will now be putting some alcohol in here. You can either use vodka or Everclear. There's all kinds of different things you can use. I'm going to add more incense in there. But yes, vodka or Everclear. The higher percentage of alcohol it has, the better. And you can actually also use rubbing alcohol, which is what I'm going to be using today. Try to find, like I said, the highest percentage you can. And the only reason I'm using this is because I am doing such a large container, and with 3 little ones, it's hard for me to run to the liquor store, so I just found these at Target or Walmart, maybe even my HEB grocery store. So let me show you what I'm using. It's just this brand, me see. This thing is so tall, it's hard to show you. But 91% alcohol. You can find it. I think this was only like a couple bucks for this big container, and sometimes they'll have sales on them, so it's best to kind of snatch them up when you can. Oh my goodness, I missed a juniper berry. There you go, little juniper berry. I'm going to stab this thing. Okay, and I think I have 4 bottles with me today, so we'll see how far this gets me. Throw it in there without lighting myself on fire. So we're going to pour this over and let it cover. I'm probably going to pour all of them in because I'm going to need actually quite a bit. You at least want to cover your herbs so that you can get all of their properties in there, all the benefits from them. Let's see how many it takes. I'm sure I will be skipping forward so you don't have to watch this whole process, but number 2. Looks like these, I should have bought quite a few more. That's what I get for wanting to fill like a 5-gallon container, right? Also, please let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you would like to know, any questions you have about this, or ideas for future videos, because I think I will, for now, mostly be focusing on unboxings of subscription boxes that I have subscribed to recently. But I would love to kind of delve into this with you guys, because I so enjoy watching other amazing witches create and do their magical workings, see how other people do things. There are so many different ways, or endless ways to put your magic and imbue your energy into things. So don't get caught up thinking you have to buy things, or you have to have the store-bought Florida water be perfect, or have to have fresh herbs. You make do with what you have, and your intention is the most important thing, in my opinion. Alrighty. So we've got our herbs covered. I'll take a shot from the side for you in just a minute. But there we go. Look at all those pretty floaties. All our pretty flowers and our fruits in there. Ooh, I can like feel the energy and power just all infusing together. So yes, like I said, I will be leaving this to sit for around a month until the next full moon, and then I will be charging it maybe a couple more times, so it might see 3 full moons before I bottle it up and start to use it again. So thank you all for joining me. My second video on YouTube. I am starting to slowly gain some confidence and still stumbling over my words, but we'll get there. And yes, like I said, please let me know if you have any ideas or anything you want to see, any questions. And I thank you so much for joining me. Love and light. Bye.